Hello everyone, welcome to yet another Zohar reading for world peace, and we're going to be reading from the introduction of the Book of Zohar as usual. We are going to continue from the section today called The Rose Mirrors of the Sulam. Just reminding that you can download this text at, and I'll show the screen in a second, but you can download it at Kabbalah.info. If we quickly go to Kabbalah.info, so you'll see here. Also, just reminding that we have this 3-day leap, the retreat, you see the banner there. That's going to be this weekend. So anyone who wants to join in, you're more than welcome to. You can still get your tickets. It's a virtual event as well as in person. So that's just a by the way, as we're going to travel to the Zohar section here. You just go click the Zohar, study the Zohar, and then you go down to the one that says Introduction of the Zohar, the Rose. And then in that document, just go down to the section, The Rose Mirrors of the Sulam. That's if you want to follow it along in the text itself. Otherwise, we'll be reading it on the screen anyway. So, with that in mind, we'll just say a quick hello to everyone who's also saying a nice hello here in the beginning. Once again, very inspiring to see so many of you people and friends from all around the world gathering to study this really high Kabbalistic the text that Kabbalists over the generations have called the book, one that they consider to be the highest in its power and its forces, and that we come together to study with the intention to draw the forces through this book, the surrounding light, which is the purpose of all Kabbalah study, and especially during the reading of the Zohar. So let's say hello to Dewey from Dewey and Tammy from Texas, Haruki Magic, sending her love to all the brothers and sisters. Julie from Utah, Sylvie from the Netherlands, Ed from Northern Ohio, Michaela, peace from Romania, love and peace from Romania, Olu from the UK. There we go. Monica from the UK, Marta, hello friends from Barcelona, Akai, hello everybody, Shalom from Peru, Sonia, love from Oslo, Michelle from Michigan, America, Global Citizen sending peace and love from the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini, Albert, greetings from Germany, Patricia, Chaim from Ohio, Lilu, love and peace, friends from Morocco, Cruising Queen Bee from Grand Prairie in Texas. Auto Aim Off. Hello all beings from around this dimension. I'm so thankful for this space of universal growth, collective obstacles, existential discussions about the fundamental of this home, this dimension Hashem. Rosie from Tennessee. Andy from West Virginia. Tolik from Brooklyn. Mary. Hello Mary from Sackett's Harbor in New York. Lisbeth from the Netherlands. Akai from Akai, we said hello before, and I'm seeing some return. Auto from Boston, Anima, Hayes from Tennessee, Mark from Indianapolis, hello everyone, from South Africa in Cape Town as well, and also Francisco on Facebook from the Philippines, and I'm sure there's many more of you. Great to connect once again in this reading and in this most important of texts where we can attract really great forces Usually we listen to Rav Laitman, Kabbalist Dr. Michael Laitman, giving some advice on how to approach the reading of the Book of Zohar, because as we know, Kabbalist Ashlag, Bala Sulam, he wrote 4 introductory articles just to prepare us on how to prepare ourselves, how to prepare our perception and sensation and our intention towards such a text. And Kabbalists have invested lots of efforts just to prepare us to approach this text before we even start reading it, so that we approach it with an intention where we can benefit from it. And benefit means that we approach it with an intention that we ultimately treat everyone who's reading it together as all parts of a single soul, a global collective soul. In the wisdom of Kabbalah, it's called the soul of Adam Arishon, coming back together, trying to feel this space that connects us, which is filled by the source force of nature, which is called the Creator, where we draw the surrounding light specifically into that place. And that's ultimately what we try to do. The authors of the Zohar attained the depths of creation, where we are all connected at a single point as that single soul. And so we draw and we attract those forces through this reading, and approaching the reading in such a way we can truly benefit from it. So we usually watch some material along that, but today we're going to watch a clip from where Rav Laitman, together with Michael Tsenelevich, they're discussing this specific text of the Zohar, this specific one called the Rose, and we'll listen a little bit as to why this article, the Rose, is the first article in the Zohar. So let's get into it, and we'll hear a little bit why are we even studying the Rose? Why is this article, the Rose, the first article in the Book of Zohar? And then we'll continue with the reading.
Now, clearly, this code, clearly, and this the first article. Why? The thing is that by Rose, or the Rose, it actually means an assembly of souls receiving some kind of fulfillment from above, from the Creator, then disseminating them to the lower levels, lower layers of souls, until it comes down to our world. But why Rose? We talked about the language of roots and branches. A Kabbalist sees a certain spiritual action and its copy or manifestation in our world. Why Rose? Rose is what seemed, or more clearly, was revealed to them, became evident to them, that the entire spiritual system, as it comes down from the Creator to mankind, it is manifested in a structure like a rose among thorns. So is the mercy of the Creator, and His influence over us consists of 2 opposite forces, white and red. White is the quality of bestowal, love, and red, to the contrary, is the quality of judgments. But judgments or mercy in relation to what? To the upper system, to those souls, in relation to the upper system that governs the souls. So, at times through mercy, at times through judgments. Yes, and that depends on the people themselves, and this is why they're told about it. So they saw the assembly of all souls in our world, in the form of a rose. Yeah, in the form of a rose. How it cascades and is governed by these 2 forces. Yeah, and how from its inner state depends the cascading of the upper forces upon it and to all of mankind. And when you say souls, you mean people? I mean people that are internally interconnected between them, even though that they're not aware of it. And this connection between them, the acknowledgement of their connection, general connection, is called a rose. A soul is something that each has his own, or it's the general connection. That general connection of all people in the world is like a rose among the thorns, and that's called soul. And what are the thorns? Thorns symbolize the judgments, harsh governance. That if you don't want to be a rose, like a rose, to spread, then you will feel the upper governance through judgments, harsh governance. So, if to express it in Kabbalistic words, then the soul is our inner desires that are always limited in a certain way. That's how we feel them, at least. What are these limitations for? In order to direct us towards a better development, because it depends on the person how to use the negative qualities, harsh qualities in him, the thorns. And precisely thanks to the fact that the rose grows among the thorns, then we too have the ability to correctly use the harsh governance that will be aimed as if against us, but it is in order for us to all the time correct ourselves towards better relations and connection between us.
Okay, so we're going to get straight into reading from Introduction of the Book of Zohar, the rose section, the rose mirrors of the Sulam, ladder. A. The engraved and explicit name was sewn in 42 letters of the act of creation. There are many numbers in the counting of the Sfirot. 1. The number 10, Kachab Chagat Nahim. 2. The number 7, Chagat Nahim. 3. The number 6, called Vak, Chagat Nahi. 4. The number 5, 5 Chasadim, or 5 Gvurot, Chagat Nach. 5. The number 13, the 13 qualities of the Rachamim, or upper Kachab Chagat, and lower Chagat and Nahim. We must understand, it is said in Sefer Yetzirah, the Book of Creation, 10 and not 9, 10 and not 11. Thus, we must neither subtract nor add to the number 10. Instead, we must know that the 10 Sfirot, Kachab Chagat Nahim, are essentially only Kachab Tum. But the Sfirah Tiferet contains 6 Sfirot Chagat Nahi within it. And thus we arrive at the number 10. However, all those 6 elements, Chagat Nahi, are but detailing of a single Sfirah, Tiferet. The reason why we only detail Tiferet and not Gar is not because of the merit of Tiferet, but because of her deficiency compared to Gar, since this detailing is the incorporation of 5 Sfirot in one another, in each of which are 5 Sfirot. It follows that there are 5 Sfirot Kachab Tum in Keter, 5 Sfirot Kachab Tum in Chokhmah, and 5 Sfirot Kachab Tum in Bina. Thus, there should also be 5 Sfirot Kachab Tum in Tiferet. However, since the essence of Tiferet is only light of Chasadim and not Chokhmah, it is necessary that the 5 Sfirot included in it are only 5 Chasadim. The names of the 5 Sfirot have therefore changed in it, since Kachab descended in it into Chagat, and Tum descended in it into Nach. Thus the 5 Sfirot included in Tiferet are only called Chagat Nach. Also, a discernment that includes all 5 Chasadim was added to it, and it is called Yesod. Hence, there are 6 Sfirot in Tiferet, Chagat Nahi. And why are the 5 Sfirot included in each of the Kachab, not counted in the number of the Sfirot? And only the elements of Tiferet are counted. It is so because the integration of the Sfirot in one another does not add to the number of the primary 5 Sfirot, rendering worthy of particular mention. But with the integration of the 5 Sfirot in Tiferet, the 5 Sfirot became new Bichinot in it, 5 Chasadim. Hence they are mentioned as 5 particular Bichinot in the Sfirot, and are included in the count of the Sfirot. Thus, Tiferet, being counted as 6 Sfirot Chagat Nahi, is because of its inferiority compared to Gar, as it is only light of Chasadim. Also, in all the numbers in the count of Sfirot, it does not decrease from the number 10, which is essentially only 5 Sfirot. This is so because 10 Sfirot means along with the 6 Sfirot detailed in Tiferet. And when we say 5 Sfirot, it means without the detailing of the Vak in Tiferet. And the count of a Vak is 5 Sfirot, included in Tiferet, with its Kolel, an inclusive, called Yesod. And the count of 7 Sfirot is when we calculate Malchut along with Tiferet. B. Let us explain the number 13. This number first came out in the world of correction, in the establishment of the Partzuf. This is so because in each Partzuf in Abiyah, there are only 3 Kelim, Bina, Ziranpin, and Malchut, and the Kelim Keter and Chochmah are missing, and the lights of Keter and Chochmah clothed within the Kli de Bina. However, in particular, each Sfirah contains these 3 Kelim, even in Keter Chochmah, having 3 Kelim, Bina and Zon, in Keter, Bina and Zon in Chochmah, and Bina and Zon in Bina. Thus, the Kli of Keter and Chochmah is missing in all the Sfirot, and Bina, Ziranpin, and Nukva is present in all the Sfirot. The 3 Kelim, Bina, Ziranpin, and Malchut divide into 10 Sfirot, since each of them comprises 3 lines, right, left, and middle. The 3 lines in Bina became Chabad. The 3 lines in Ziranpin became Chagat. The 3 lines in Malchut became Nahi, and with the Malchut that contains them, they are 10 Sfirot. Thus each Partzuf has 10 Sfirot, Chagbad, Chagat, Nahim. Also, it is known that Rosh Darichanpin de Atzilut has only 2 Sfirot, Keter Chochmah, which are called Keter and Chochmah Stima, Mocha Stima, whose Bina went out of Rosh Darichanpin and became a guf, a body, Vak, lacking the Mochin de Rosh. This is the meaning of Abba taking Ima outside. For this reason, Bina divided into Gar and Zat. This is so because the flaw of lack of Mochin de Rosh does not blemish the Gar de Bina at all, since she is only light of Chasadim in her essence, in the 10 Sfirot de Or Yashar. And there is no difference in that light when it is in the Rosh or in the Guf, for it always illuminates equally. Hence, the exit of Bina outside the Rosh does not diminish her from Gar and from Mochin de Rosh. Thus, Gar de Bina were separated to be on their own and became the Partzufim of upper Abba Ve'ima, which are considered Gar, although they stand from Ped de Arichanpin and below. But Zat de Bina, which are essentially Bina, but from the Hitkalilut of Zon and Bina, need illumination of Chokhmah as well, to impart to Zon. For this reason, they suffer from this flaw of Bina's exit from Rosh Arichanpin, since by that they became devoid of Chokhmah. Thus they are regarded as Vak and Guf, lacking the Mochin de Rosh. And because of that flaw, they were separated from Gar de Bina, and became a separate Partzuf, called Yeshut. It follows that the exit of Bina from Rosh de Arichanpin created two distinct Bechinot in her, Gar and Zat. As a result, 3 Sfirot were added to the Partzuf, because now in the 3 lines in Gar de Bina were considered Chabad. The 3 lines in Zat de Bina were considered Upper Chagat. The 3 lines in Zerampin were considered Lower Chagat, and the 3 lines in Malchut as Nehi. And along with the Malchut that includes them, they are 13 Sfirot. Thus the exit of Bina from the Rosh causes the number 13 Sfirot in the Partzuf, since double Chagat were made in the Partzuf. However, this is not permanent, since by raising Man from the lower ones, illumination from Ab Sag Da'ak is extended, and this illumination brings the Bina back to Rosh de Arichanpin. And then the Zat de Bina can receive Chokhmah from Arichanpin and impart upon the sons to Zon. It is considered that the exit of Bina from Rosh de Arichanpin in the beginning was essentially only in order to impart illumination of Chokhmah to Zon. Were it not for the exit, it would have been impossible to extend illumination of Chokhmah to Zon. Thus, these 3 Sfirot that were added by the exit of Bina are only preparation and qualification for extension of Mochin de Chokhmah to Zon, which are the 7 days of creation. Thus, in every place, the number 13 is regarded as extension of Chokhmah to Zon. This explains the discernment of 5 Sfirot and 13 Sfirot. 5 Sfirot indicate that they have only illumination of Chokhmah, but 13 indicates the extension of illumination of Chokhmah by the 3 Sfirot, Upper Chagat, which were added due to Bina's exit. C. Now we will explain the name 42 and 42 Zivugim. Due to Bina's exit, she divided into Gar and Zat. Gar de Bina were established as Partzuf Upper Abba Ve'ima, clothing Arichanpin from its Peh through the Chazeh, and the light in them is called pure Avir, pure air. Zat de Bina were established as Partzuf Yeshut, which clothes Arichanpin from Chazeh to Tabu, and the light in them is called plain Avir. Avir means light of Ruach, meaning only light of Chasadim, without Chokhmah. For this reason, Bina is considered to have departed the Rosh de Arichanpin into Avir, since due to the exit outside of Rosh de Arichanpin, which is Chokhmah, there is only light of Chasadim in her, without Chokhmah, which is called Avir. However, there is a difference between Upper Abba Ve'ima and Yesut. Upper Abba Ve'ima are Gar de Bina. They are not flawed by their exit from the Chokhmah, because their essence is Chasadim without Chokhmah. Thus, even while the lower ones raise Man, and Bina returns to Rosh de Arichanpin, even then Upper Abba Ve'ima do not receive Chokhmah, but only Yeshut, since Gar de Bina never change their nature, and are hence not flawed by all the exit from the Rosh. They are regarded as though they never went out of Rosh Darich Anpin, and they are considered complete Gar. For this reason, they are regarded as pure Avir. Thus, they are also unknown Avir, which means that their Dat does not extend Chokhmah, and their Avir does not become light, Chokhmah. However, Yesut, Zat de Bina, which need the light of Chokhmah in order to impart Zon, are blemished by the exit from Rosh Darich Anpin, because the absence of Chokhmah, due to their being at the Guf Darich Anpin, is sensed in them as actual deficiency. For this reason, their Avir is not considered pure Avir, but only plain Avir, or Avir that is about to become known and to extend Chokhmah through the Man, which is called Dat. This is so because while the lower ones raise Man, Bina returns entirely to being Rosh Darich Anpin, and then Yeshut receive Chokhmah from Arich Anpin and impart upon Zon. Then it is considered that the Yud comes out of the Avir and becomes light, which is light of Chokhmah. Thus, Avir de Yeshut is known, but upper Abba Ve'ima remain as well upon their return to Rosh Darich Anpin. And then Yeshut receive Chokhmah from Arich Anpin and impart upon Zon. Then it is considered that the Yud comes out of the Avir and becomes light, which is light of Chokhmah. Sorry, we missed a line here. As well upon their return to Rosh Darich Anpin as pure Avir, and the Yud does not come out of their Avir because they never change their ways. Hence they are called Avir that is not known. Also there is a Parsa inside the Mei, the intestine of Arich Anpin, which was made in the place of Chazeh. This is the firmament that separates the upper water, Rosh Darich Anpin, from upper Abba Ve'ima that clothe him from the Peh to the Chazeh, since the Rosh Darich Anpin continues through there. Hence the Parsa stands beneath them and divides between them and between Yeshut and Zon, lower water, which are devoid of illumination of the Rosh Darich Anpin. This is why the lower waters cry, "We want to be before the king," since they wish to rise and receive the illumination of Chokhmah from Rosh Darich Anpin. Okay, friends, we might leave the reading there for now. Reminding once again that, especially for anyone who might have just joined within the reading, maybe it's your first time here, might seem pretty strange, some of this language. It's written in the language of Kabbalah, this text, together with the language of the branches. We learn about these languages in the wisdom of Kabbalah. And the goal here isn't intellectual knowledge, but rather to request this attainment of what these authors attained themselves, which allowed them to perceive and sense the root soul from which every single person in this world extends, plus all the souls, plus all the concatenation down of the Sfirot, Partsufim, worlds, upper worlds, down into this world, where the authors of such a text really revealed the entirety of creation from its beginning to its end, and write to us from such a spiritual place beyond place, time, motion, as we know them in our world, beyond our whole five senses, and write to us from there. And we request to attract the forces that they that raise us above our perception into that perception, the surrounding light, which is the key to the study here. So, one of the images that always sticks with me is that it's like a baby that picks up some remote control and starts hitting the buttons. That's us trying to apply the right intention to this text, and that's what gradually brings us these forces, this surrounding light, and which starts working on us. And maybe you feel something, maybe you don't, maybe you'll feel something later after this reading, maybe not, but we attract the surrounding light if we try to approach it with such an intention. And then it does a certain work. So it's a big big thing, all of you who join and just listen to such a reading in such a way all around the world. And we're going to leave with another clip now. It'll go a little bit over time, so you can just keep the listening on. It's just another clip where Kabbalist Dr. Michael Laitman is discussing with Michael Sanilevich about the article "A Rose" specifically in this introduction of the Zohar. And they're talking here about what exactly is a rose. So you can get a little bit of enlightenment, maybe a little bit of some aha moments from what this actually means. And thank you all very much for connecting once again. And we'll leave you out with this clip this time. So Dr. Laitman here talking about what is this rose that we're reading about now. See you later.
So Chizkiah is asking, what is a rose? And then he says that it's the Knesset of Israel and the Malchut. Well, rose is the external similarity, and the more inner quality is the assembly of all those who wish to connect with one another, thus called Israel, that in the connection between them, by it, want to direct themselves toward the Creator, and that's why they're called Israel, from the words Yashar El, meaning those that are aimed straight toward the Creator, and this way they bring themselves closer in order to rise by their qualities of kindness and good to the Creator. So Knesset in Hebrew comes from the word kinus, assembly, and Israel, Yashar Kel, straight toward the Creator, meaning assembly of people that are aimed to the Creator are called a rose. And why Malchut? Because it's the lowest, but at the same time, most defining part in society. The connection on the lowest level that can rise to the highest level is called Malchut. So it's our connection on our most basic, on our most egoistic desires. Not even basic ones, animate ones, but the most egoistic ones. Yeah? Okay, seems clear now.
Здесь еще, может, такой вопрос. Есть 13 свойств.